we begin this period of practice by bringing ourselves into a posture that's upright and stable, not rigid, not slouched, comfortably engaged. As we lower or close the eyes, whichever you prefer, as we're cultivating in this practice an inner gaze, and it can be helpful to have less arising in the visual field. And we settle into this moment by coming to our senses, by directing the flashlight of our attention to where our body meets the chair or the cushion beneath us. Shining the flashlight of attention to our hands and noticing the sensations arising in and around our hands and fingers. Gently shining the flashlight towards our feet and the sensations arising in and around our feet and toes as we breathe. For we have this flashlight that we can direct where we choose. And for this practice, we will in a moment aim that flashlight of our attention on an object, such as the breath, or if you prefer, the sensations of the hands, or some other object arising in this moment. We're not just sitting. This body is moving with the breath, and so we are aware of the expansion of the torso, the lifting of the rib cage on the in-breath, and its softening on the out-breath. As we take 3 slower, deeper breaths, a little slower, a little deeper, a little fuller, comfortable. Here's a suggestion of that pacing of the slower, deeper breath as we breathe in and out. A little fuller, tempered, even exhalation of air, breathing in, allowing the belly to expand on the in-breath, and out. A gentle squeezing of the air, a fuller, tempered, as if blowing through a straw, exhalation of air. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing the breath to resume its natural pacing and rhythm, whatever that may be, in this moment, in these moments. No longer slowing down or manipulating the breath to perhaps achieve a more relaxed or steady state, but observing the breath as it is. As we bring more fully being aware of our experience into this practice. If the object of your attention that you've chosen for this practice is the breath, direct your attention to the sensations of the breath with the intention to remain there. Not force yourself there, but to settle into. this sitting, with the awareness of being present, and a gentle noting, attending to the breath. And if you've chosen instead to rest attention on the sensations of the hands or some other part of the body or some other object, then with the same intention, direct your attention there as you breathe. And as the mind will wander, it most surely has already, and it will again and again and again. We understand that it is the nature of the mind to wander, and we understand that it is not the aspiration of this practice for the mind not to wander. It would be like knowing that the wind blows and wishing for the wind not to blow, knowing that clouds will float across the sky and wishing that they would just stay still or dissipate. Rather, understanding the nature of the mind, as we can observe the wind blowing, as we can observe the clouds floating across the sky, so too we can observe the activity of the mind. And just as if we were observing the flow of the wind or the movement of the clouds, we might at times forget, so too as we observe the activity of our mind, there are times that we will forget. Lost in thought. The mind is a wonderful time travel machine to future, to past. We spend a lot of time in future and past. And sometimes we're there without really choosing to be there, without needing to be there, without any real benefit. And we can be tossed around, anticipating worst-case scenarios and ruminating and regretting over things that didn't go the way we would have liked. And we'll experience a little bit of that as we're practicing, because we're creating a more open terrain for the mind to move around. But we also are creating the terrain in which the mind has an object upon which to rest. And so this is really a practice of having moments where our attention is where we've placed it, moments where we're really not aware of where our attention is because we're lost in thought, moments when we realize that we've become lost in thought, and moments when we return our attention to the object. And rather than resist that inevitable experience, we can be interested in it with a knowing that that very interest will benefit us as well. For we'll be developing and training the capacities that we are paying attention to, the capacities of an attention that stays a little longer with the object, the capacity of being aware and of making decisions in alignment with our intention. And so for the next few minutes, resting your attention on the object, the breath. And when you realize that you've wandered away, gently returning to the object. Aware of the breath. Aware of the body breathing. When you notice your mind wandering, gently returning to the breath. Aware of the body sitting, of the body moving with the breath, and of the breath flowing through the body. And when you're ready, in the next moment or two, with an awareness of doing so, lifting the gaze, opening the eyes, and seeing if we might carry a little bit of what we've cultivated through this period of practice into the moments that follow.